I was dying this weekend. I had one of the all-time, Thursday was solid, Friday, Saturday, but late Saturday, bomb. The last show.
Take me through. Where are we?
First of all, they go, it's going to be 75% capacity because of COVID. That room was jammed to the gills.
75%, by the way. That's pretty substantial.
That's a joke. Yeah.
That's the reverse of, I think, what it's supposed to be.
What, 25?
I think it's 25. Well, here it's 25. I don't know what's going on in Greenville.
I think there it's supposed to be 50,
but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So they were packing it all in, and the waitress has got the nose out, the mask. Like, nobody gives a shit. One guy spit in my eye. And so every show is great. And the last show, it was the most full. So I was like, this is going to be great. Weekend's been great. New stuff's working. And I had them for the first 8, and then, whoo, baby. It was one of those shows where some guy over there would go, comedy. One guy would go, Tuesday. And they'll go, how's the moped? What's that, a Beamer? What's shaking, fatty? And I'm like, It was like whack-a-mole with heckles. I couldn't stop them all.
Oh, so it was some fans there.
It was fans, but it was just a boozy night. There's nothing to do there, so you start drinking at 2 p.m. This guy in the front row's got a comedy shirt on. He's sleeping.
Oh, jeez.
That's over. Then I got one lady's like,
over.
One lady's just like, she's off to the right. You couldn't see her. I couldn't make fun of her appearance because it was too dark. So that's done. And just, then you got like the conservative couple up front, just like, it was tough. One lady complained, said I was too dirty. She's like, this is North Carolina or South Carolina. You don't come here with that filthy shit in New York. That shit doesn't fly here. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Isn't that weird? People blow each other, and then they get mad about the joke about blowing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Carlin had a thing like that where he's like, if you're willing to swallow cum, shut the fuck up or whatever it was. Yeah.
I mean, go home and blow each other.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, everyone's seen an asshole. Everyone's eaten out an asshole. Everyone's had sex with a kid, but any kind of swearing, they're like, hey, I can't hear this.
Exactly.
Nonsense.
It's a kooky world we live in. And they're all, at one point I go, unbuckle that Bible belt, you homos. Because it was just, you could just see them like, I can feel the Lord's wrath upon ye.
Well, Greenville, I think, is that area where it's all churches. You drive down the street, and there's a church across from a church, and then another church.
Church is chicken.
So, you guys got to be careful down there. But sometimes it's the worst when it's the last show, because you leave the flight out, you're thinking about that show.
Exactly.
And it doesn't make me miss those weekends, because I'm doing all one-nighter outdoor nonsense, and they're all so grateful.
Yes.
So it's nice to not have. I did the one with Danny Braff in New Jersey. Have you done that one? You did that one, yeah.
I like Braff.
And that was one of the few times I did a show and then sat in my car and was like, I got another show. I haven't done 2 in a night in a long time.
It's weird, huh?
And the second one ended up being better, I thought. But yeah, that feeling of a great show and a shit show in the same night is so weird because it's a real roller coaster.
Totally. And I got to give a shout out to this guy, Kyle. He's a big ginger Irish Mick. But he was like the head waiter, kind of the manager guy, and he does comedy. So he knew what to do. He's like, if a guy yelled out, he's like, you want me to throw that guy out? You know how some clubs are like, oh, he's having fun.
Yeah.
Like, he knew he would get you a drink, he'd get you food, then he'd be like, oh, I saw some kid trying to get in the green room, so he'd throw him out. Like, he knew exactly what a comic wanted.
Yeah, the best way, and it's not easy, but the best way to have a great club is to have a club that's very successful and you don't need anybody's money. Comedy on State, which I'm repping, the Cellar where I just sat and jerked off, all those clubs where they're like, we don't give a fuck.
Yes.
Leave.
Yes.
But some of these clubs, if you're working the Funny Tit in Greenville,
yeah,
they're like, we can't kick him out. We need his $8 or whatever.
Completely. Yeah. Which I get that too, but at some point you got to side with the comedian. Please, we're dying up there, folks.
Exactly. They don't always get that we're the most important part, which is what Noam has been saying for years, the owner of the Comedy Cellar. He's like, I recognized early that keeping the comics happy, that's the most important
Yeah, and we're a fucking sewing circle. We all get together, we talk, and people go, how's Greenville? And you go, don't go there. And they go, all right, fuck it. Now you're losing out on good comics.